Daniela or Daniela Alexa, whichever you prefer. I don't mind either. And in today's video, we have a commission. My very first commission outside of college. I am making my sorority sister a summer dress, but it's going to be more on the elegant side. The dress is going to have an overlay of lace that I will be hand sewing on. It is going to have a ruffle at the bottom. It's going to have a slit. It's going to have gathering at the boobs. It's going to have bows and bows. And stay till the end of the video because I will be using the same pattern for a dress for myself. It's not going to be the exact same dress, but it's going to be a pretty cute dress in my opinion. So I will be using my dress form to drape the pattern. I prefer draping over flat pattern just because it's a little bit easier in my opinion, and I won't have to do so much math to try to get everything right. So I'll just adjust the pattern as needed. So yeah, let's get right into the video.
To start off, I will be laying down my draping tape, but I first wanted to use a bra cup to add some support to the dress, but I realized that wasn't going to work because my dress form just doesn't have the proper sized boob to do that. So I just went ahead and draped my tape on the form without the bra cup. And here I am just showing you what I draped. It's just 4 panels and the cup piece that will be gathered at the top. The next step in my draping process is to prepare my fabric, and I do that by measuring each panel, and I use my measuring tape to measure out the proper width and length for each panel, and then I will go ahead and press each piece flat as I can get it with no wrinkles, and I use steam to help it shrink a little bit so that way I won't have to worry about the fabric shrinking as I am draping all of my pieces. What I like to do next is I like to take my ruler and draw a vertical line down all of my pieces just to act as my grain line, so that way when I pin it to my dress form, I know exactly where I'm supposed to be making all of my lines parallel, where I'm supposed to be marking, things like that. So what I'm doing now is I'm pinning the fabric up to my dress form, and I am smoothing it out so that way it pins nicely to the dress form. And then once I have it nicely flat and pinned, I will use my pencil to mark it. Once I have all my markings, I will true it, and that's basically just making sure all the lines are straight or as curved, not really looking wonky. And then once I have it in a way that I like, I will add my seam allowance, and then I will pin it back up to the form. But first I will cut it out, and then I'll pin it back up to my dress form. Once I have the piece pinned the way that I like, I'll move on to the next piece, and I'm doing the same thing. I'm pinning it so that fabric is straight, and then I will smooth it out so that there are no wrinkles or anything like that in the fabric. And then once I have it the way that I like, I will use my pencil to mark out those lines. Then I will take it off of the dress form and take it to my table and true it up, which is basically just making sure all the curves and all the straight lines are as nice and neat as they could be, no wonky lines. And if I need to make any adjustments, I will. And this is my time to add notches as well. I add notches to indicate where I need to match up each piece, and then once I have it satisfied to my liking, I will add my seam allowance, cut it out, and put it back on the form. Then I will continue each piece in the same manner. and this is what the finished draping looks like. I only did the lower bodice pieces just to show you, and I will be doing the same thing as I did for the bottom for the cut piece, just draping it, smoothing it out. I'm adding a dart here just to add some shape to the cup, and I will be gathering it in the center, so you'll see me doing that. And I'm just following all the same steps: pinning, smoothing, marking, taking it off, adjusting the pattern as needed, and then pinning it back up to the dress form. I did go ahead and just sew up the bodice piece together with the straps that I'm going to be using, and I'm actually very happy with how it came out. But I do want to adjust the gathers in the front right here as I'm showing you. The curve isn't as sharp as I wanted it to be, and the gathers just don't look neat. And as I turn it here, you can see that it's a bit bigger in my dress form. I do have to take in the sides about 1/4 of an inch, but as you turn it to the back, it kind of looks good. Everything is matching up. I'm very happy with that. And the bows I actually really like. And again, I'm just showing you that I will need to take in the bust a bit, 1/4 of an inch. The darts look nice and everything, and here I'm just showing you where I position the straps, but I do want to take it in on that left side just a little bit and place it where I have it on the right side. But yeah, the gathers just aren't doing it for me. The next step that I'll be showing you is draping the skirt, and I'm not exactly the happiest with how this came out, so I don't think that I'm going to be going into detail into how I did it. I just included it in the video because I took the time to do it, but I will explain why I don't particularly like this skirt that I draped. But I basically draped the top part of the skirt on the dress form, took it off, and now I'm extending it and widening it so it's more of a flared skirt. But again, I didn't really like how this skirt came out, so I will explain why I don't exactly like how it came out later on in the video.
And this is where I'm at so far with the dress, and there are quite a few changes that I wanted to make on the dress form. There's a bit of gaping on the sides, but I'm not going to change that because on me when I put the dress on, there's no gaping. Even when I put my arms up, like, there's nothing. It's very fitted to my body, and I think that this is because I have a bit more bust than this does, so it actually fits me perfectly. The bows, these are just so I can be able to try on the dress and perfectly. But the bow straps, I think I just did two 20-inch straps, or 28-inch straps, and then I just tied them. But other than that, the top fits perfectly. Oh, the gathering, I don't like how it's not as gathered as I wanted it, so I changed the pattern so there's more gathering that I have to do, and it's more pronounced. But everything else on the bodice is basically perfect. On me, I did have to take, even though it fits this dress form a bit better than it does on me, I took in the waist a half inch on both sides, so of an inch in total. So yeah, there's that. The flare at the bottom, I'm very happy with it. It's doing what it's supposed to do, but the skirt is very, very straight, and I was thinking I'd do a straighter skirt for my own dress, because like I've said before, I am making a dress like this for myself and for my friend, but I would like it, but now I'm just kind of like, I want something more poofy, so I made the skirt a lot wider. Once you gather it together, it's going to give that shape to the skirt, and it's going to be more frilly, because this doesn't give spin. It doesn't give, I want to twirl in the gardens. I didn't make a pattern for the ruffle because it's just a straight rectangle. I'm just going to fold it in half and cut it on the fold. It's 6 inches wide. I'm probably going to do like 55 inches long. I'm not too worried about the top. The top is pretty much perfect. So yeah. And here is my pattern, like printed out. These are the pieces. I have to just cut it out and put it together. I'm gonna cut out and put together the top today because I'm pretty sure I have enough muslin fabric to do the top. I'm just not sure about the skirts because everything needs to be cut on the fold, and I just don't know if I have enough. But hopefully this pattern is good so I don't have to repattern it. So I'm going to put together my pattern, cut out my fabric, and then I will come back and show you what the finished mock-up dress looks like. Okay, and this is what we're looking like. I redid the skirt mostly. The skirt is what really needed to be changed, and I also changed the gathering in the front, and in my opinion it looks so much better. Like, this is what I was aiming for when I first envisioned the gathers, so it looks great. And the skirt, 10 times better. It has more fullness, it's more flowy, it's not straight down like a box, and I reached out to my sister and she absolutely loves the skirt and she loves how it's come out, and it's great. So now all I have to do, I didn't like take out the gaping here. I didn't take this out because for me, when I put it on, it doesn't do that. Like, it's very to my body and it fits really, really well. Could I take it in? Yes, but I just don't want it to be so tight that like my underarm, you know, the underarm fat that everyone has. I don't want it to like, I don't know if you can like see it, but I don't want it to just like push. So I think it's fine where it is. I think it's only gaping because my boobs are more protruding out than this. And also I think another factor to take in is the fact that every time I try it on, I'm wearing a bra. And with this dress, I would wear a strapless bra. I wouldn't just go braless because it's not going to be cupped. I will put interfacing, but I haven't decided yet if I'm going to put interfacing on the actual cup part. I don't think it'll gather the same if I do, so I'm not going to put any support in it. So 9 times out of 10 I will wear a bra with it, so it's not that big of an issue for me. So all I'm going to do is just adjust the pattern pieces for the bodice part. I'm going to adjust the pattern pieces for the bodice part. So the skirt, being that it's twice my size, also being twice my model size, all I have to do is just gather it down to be her size, so I don't have to worry about that. So it's just these pieces that I will have to adjust, and I won't have to adjust them by a lot, but I will show you how I do that. But also I want to show you the patterns that I made for the straps. I prefer not spaghetti straps, but like I don't want a bow. Like me personally, bows aren't my style, especially because there's a bow here, there's a bow here, and there's going to be a bow here. I personally don't want bows because the fabric that I'm going to use for my dress is a little bit more, there's a pattern on it. It's not just solid fabric, so I don't want the bows to be a distraction. So I'm not going to be putting a bow on my dress, and I won't be using the bows. I won't be using the bows for the straps. But so I have just a rectangular piece that I'm going to cut 4 of, and it's going to be 1 inch wide. So that's my pattern for the regular spaghetti straps. It's also measured to be the length that I need. It looks a little short, not gonna lie, but oh my goodness, hold on. This is actually short. Okay, here I have it measured to be 17 inches. Okay, so I think I'm definitely gonna have to make this a couple inches longer, but this is essentially what it's supposed to look like. The bows, however, this is, I'm pretty sure this is the perfect length. This is exactly what I measured it to be. 27.5 inches. Where I went wrong with, no, it's actually 27 inches. Okay, never mind. It's 27 inches. Where I went wrong with the rectangle, I have no idea. No clue.
So here I am adjusting the pattern pieces for my sorority sister. She is 2 inches wider than me in the bust and the waist. So all I'm doing is adding 1/8 of an inch on all sides of the pattern pieces, except for the center front and the center back. Those will stay the same. And 1/8 of an inch on 6 sides should equal out to 2 inches total. Alright guys, that's it for part 1 of my tutorial series on this beautiful and elegant evening dress. And I know I'm giving a little spoiler here, but if you're interested in learning how to actually make this pattern yourself, stay tuned for part 2. I'm excited for it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye!